this is probably one of the few issues where my opponent and I basically agree. As a federalist, I'm very annoyed when the federal government imposes its will on the states with unfunded mandates, and I would feel the same way going to Tallahassee. There is a place for the state to have a little bit of oversight if, like we've seen in Broward and Palm Beach counties, if you have ethics violations going on and corruption. But beyond that, the state has to do its thing and work in harmony with the local and the county governments. First, I want to thank you all for coming, and again, thank the Chamber for sponsoring this great event. I do want to clarify one thing, and I know that Jeff didn't say that I said this, but I don't intend that we round people up and send them home in terms of illegal immigration. What I'd like to see is deportation through attrition. If we enforce our laws here in the United States at the state, local, and federal level, then as we've seen in other states where they're doing that, those people are going to leave. And if we do it all over the country, they're going to leave not just the states where they are, they're going to go back to their home countries. As I said, I am not against immigration. I am against illegal immigration. We are a country of laws. And just like a house without walls cannot stand, a country without secure borders cannot be sovereign. Now, as I said earlier, I have never run for or held elected office. I am going to be a citizen legislator. I bring unique talents and unique experiences with me to Tallahassee, and I don't intend to make this a career. I intend to make this what the Founding Fathers envisioned. Citizens going, representing the people of their districts, doing the best that they can, and then going home, going back to their lives. And if you give me that opportunity, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to represent the people. I'm not going to represent them based on the color of their skin, their religion, their gender, or their sexual orientation. I'm not worried about whether or not what hyphen they put in front of the word American. I'm not worried about whether they're a member of a union or not. Everybody should be equal. We're all Americans, and that's all that really matters to me.
To Ron for doing this and for the Chamber for putting this on. I always like coming here. I was at the Keyline House on Sunday evening too, so this is my third meal today, so I apologize for not eating. They're running us through the ringer and they run us around, and I'm starting to gain weight, so I'm going to be backing off a little bit. Look, this election, and I know we've both talked about it, we each have different perspectives. My perspective comes from somebody who has served on local city boards, who has volunteered in this community as a member of Kiwanis for 8 years, served as Lieutenant Governor for the Division 21 of Kiwanis, which includes Lantana, Lake Worth, and head south, doing good community service work in our community, volunteering for my neighborhood association. And that led to volunteering on city boards. I served on the Civil Service Board, so I got to know how to deal with police and fire department matters. I served on the Community Redevelopment Agency. I got to understand how to attract businesses to our local community and to be able to support them. And then as mayor, look, I didn't get everything done that I want to get done in the city of Lake Worth, but we got a heck of a lot done, and I'll just name a few of them. I already talked to you about bringing Publix and the Compass and the Palm Beach County Cultural Center downtown. I talked about the beach. I didn't talk about the 7 city parks that we redid in the 2.5 years that I was mayor. I haven't yet talked about the new boardwalk that we're going to have along our mangroves in the Snook Islands project. I haven't talked about the millions of dollars in infrastructure projects that we did in the city of Lake Worth while I was there. I didn't talk about the $23 million federal grant that we brought down to be able to redo foreclosed housing in the city of Lake Worth. By the way, we were only one of 7 applicants in the entire state of Florida to get that grant. A lot of great things happened, and it wasn't all my doing. I had a great team. Lake Worth is a city on the cusp. We've still got some major issues to deal with, our electric utility being one of them. As our city manager likes to say, it took us 30 years to dig that hole. We're not going to dig out of it in a couple of years, but we are starting that process. Those kinds of experiences and getting things done in your local community are vitally important when you go to Tallahassee. It can take a while to learn that job up there. You've got to have people who are ready to hit the ground running, who understand how government operates, that aren't so ensconced in the system that they can't see what its flaws are. I've somehow been labeled as the career politician in this race. I served 1 term as mayor of the city of Lake Worth for 2.5 years. I guess if one term makes you a politician, then we should just have 1-term term limits. You know, and I don't think that's...
Yeah, that'd be great.
Some people might like that idea,
Yeah.
but trust me, when you have 2-year terms, it takes you a year to a year and a half to learn the job. And I would argue that maybe that's better in Tallahassee. To have people, if they're not doing anything, is sometimes better for local municipalities. I'm going to be a fierce voice for this district. I understand the issues, whether it be AG Holly, whether it be your beach restoration, whether it be business creation. I understand them. So most of you know me, and even though we might not always agree on the issues, you know you can come to me and talk about them, and I'm going to work hard for you. My name is Jeff Clemens. Thank you so much for having us today.
We'd also like to thank each and every one of you for coming out today to take time out of your busy schedule to hear what